So welcome back to Third Rate Content. Today we're out in the fields very close to Shrewsbury. We're actually going to go and have a look at the Darwins oak. It's a pretty sad story actually, and we'll tell you what's going on as we go. But today's mini adventure, it's a sad mini adventure. It's the type of thing I don't like to hear about and I don't really like to document, but it's something that must be documented and preserved for memory, the way things are going. Just by Shelton Water Tower in Shrewsbury, near a public footpath, we're going to go and have a look at the tree and actually have a look at the area that is going to be badly affected by recent political decisions that have been made. And I just want to say a big thank you to Ethical Bunny, fantastic YouTube channel. Check it out if you haven't already. But she commented and did say, why don't you go and check out Darwin's oak? And I had heard a bit about it at the time. I knew it wasn't a good thing. I had sort of been avoiding the story. But these things, they need to be talked about and they need to be documented. So join me and we're going to be going down and having a look at some really ancient English woodlands and fields. So buckle up and I'll see you out here. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I have never been to this part of Shrewsbury. It's the first time and it could be the last time before work starts and a giant scar is wrecked across the ancient English pastoral fields. And it will take years and years for the road to be established, and that's after you get away from the vile muck and building work that's going to be going on here for ages and ages. And it won't just be this area that's affected, it'll be for miles all around the western sector of Shrewsbury. So on the 31st of October 2023, Shropshire Council planning officers had recommended the approval of Shrewsbury's Northwest Relief Road. It was formally approved with conditions earlier, which means planners will need to review the proposal over environmental factors. Plans for the Northwest Relief Road have existed since the mid-1980s. The recent scrapping of HS2 has increased finances for the scheme. Daniel Kaczynski says that the 54 million asked for in November of 2019 should now be increased as costs have increased in the last 4 years. Kaczynski also claims that the silent majority of local residents approve of the scheme. He would say that though. Meanwhile, Councillor Dan Morris says he's relieved that the right decision has been made for Shropshire, while he recognises some people would not support it. 150 protesters gathered outside Shire Hall ahead of the planning meeting. One resident of Shrewsbury said they are absolutely inconsolable about the irreplaceable veteran trees which will be felled to make way for carriageway, including the Darwin oak, which we've seen today, but there are others. And the tree has become a central symbol of opposition. There is some hope still that the Environment Agency has not had the issues they raised resolved to their satisfaction, because they feel that where the road is said to be built will affect drinking water in the area. And the BBC's political correspondent doesn't see the road reaching the construction stage without the Environment Agency's approval. Such timeless fields and hedgerows, soon possibly to be despoiled. So this is the oak tree that Charles Darwin was said to have played on as a child. Yeah, you can almost see Charles Darwin's house from here, about half a mile away. So it is quite possible that the young fellow did use this area. And all the nature and beauty here could have inspired the young chap pre-beard days. But yeah, and it inspires me, and I'm sure it's inspired many creative minds, places like this and this exact field over the years. And it's a real awful thought that what's going to occur here. I mean, the animals and birds and everything have got no idea basically the hell that this place is going to be for a long time. To me, a mundane road has none of the attraction of a sublime English old landscape. Yeah, one of my favourite films at the moment is A Field in England. I could just see O'Neill, played by Michael Smiley, just making his way across there looking for hidden treasure with his really cool badass hat on. And to me, what O'Neill was trying to achieve in that film had comparisons to what is going on here today with the Northwest Relief Road. O'Neill was trying to rape the English landscape to achieve material gains. But O'Neill's plans were on a far, far smaller scale than what is happening today. On a purely material level, how many creatures call this mighty oak home? And how much does this tree put into the environment? You know, there's as much rootage below as there is leaves above. Ormond Hill and the western sector of Shrewsbury. Get ready to change. And we cast our gaze around for what I hope will not be the last time. But all these fields are in danger, and at the back of Coton Hill, I hope to go there soon because there is an ancient road, one of the really old ones, into Shrewsbury there. I hope to document that before it gets messed up. Yeah, this is really depressing me. You know what? We're going to go and check out another area we haven't seen for about a year. It's a bit of a whoopee, but we're going to go and do the autumn walk at the lower Ormond Hill and see our mascot, third-rate mascot, see if she's still there. Hopefully cheer ourselves up a bit. Yeah, this really is one of my favourite autumnal walks that I've ever come across. The lower walk at Ormond Hill. Can you believe it's a year, over a year since we were last taking this footpath? It's very, very muddy down here today. But what else do you expect in autumn? Yeah, if you remember, last year we were looking for the oldest bridge in Shrewsbury, or the second oldest bridge in Shrewsbury. We found it. It's a great video. Feel free to check it out. I'll leave a link to it in the description box. I love this ghost tree. Yeah, I did say last year, it's just come back to me now, that we'd come back and do the winter walk here. I imagine it's pretty spectacular with snow on the ground, all the leaves off the trees, and that stark winterness. But I didn't do it last year because there wasn't actually really that much snow last year, and there wasn't a day that would have been worth my while coming up here and filming it and calling it a winter woodland walk. So that's why we didn't do it last year. Possibly we could do it this year. See if we get any snow. Yeah, I love these bivouacs. I still don't really know who builds them. Yeah, I've never been up here and seen anyone constructing these. It's a bit strange. Yeah, that is basically around there where we were just at the Darwin Oak, and that landscape is going to be significantly changed in the next 12 months. Boo! Yeah, I'm just fighting my way through the undergrowth here. But I just watched this week one of my favourite shows. I think I have mentioned it several times before, Robin of Sherwood. But I watched the episode where Guy of Gisborne, the Sheriff of Nottingham's second in command, and basically playing the archetype of the villain, but also the ignorant, not understanding of England's ways, just out to make money in a very material way, and only seeing the most basic things like got to stop Robin Hood, fight, get food and get money. You know, you're basically an animal of a man. Yeah, I think an ignorant, profane Norman, square-headed Norman would be what Guy of Gisborne was, that archetype. And he chopped down a sacred oak tree sacred to the people of Sherwood Forest and protected by the deity Herne the Hunter, who in that programme was like sacred to everyone who lived in Sherwood. And in a very misguided way, he tried to chop the tree down against all the advice, with dire consequences for himself, and went against all the advice that he was given, even by his own colleagues. And anyway, the consequence was he ended up getting separated from his men in the forest and taken off and basically trialled by spirits and the wood itself, and was really basically beasted in the woods for the crimes and sacrilege he made against Sherwood Forest. Yeah, another way of putting it is he got taken in the woods and given a good old England spiritual, metaphysical thrashing by all the spirits of the forest on his ignorant, low consciousness, square-headed Norman body. And basically, if it was real, that man would have been a gibbering wreck for the rest of his life. He did get better a couple of episodes later. Obviously, he needed him in the show. And he was a good character, good baddie, and played by Robert Addy, R.I.P., who did a great job. So, should this be the punishment for the crime of defiling old England for anybody, including everybody who's played a hand in what's coming up? I'm just putting the question out there. You tell me in the comments what you think. It's a free speech zone, the third rate content comments board, and all legally held opinions are valid. But the mental image cheers me up. I think it's golden, and I think it's been a real tonic, but it's still very, very sad what's happening. And to think someone will have to call their honest day at work the destruction of ancient English oak trees. I don't envy having to do that for a killing job. Healthy trees that have years left to live. It seems like a crime against natural order. And the words of wisdom are, only fools obey commands. I was going to leave a link to the relevant episode of Robin Sherwood in the description box, but the episodes have all been taken off YouTube. Obviously, they are violating copyright, and I would lend you the DVD if I could. Sorry, I can't though. You can see there is an actual stream on this path. With the rain we've had, the stream must have kind of burst its banks and is using the path as a watercourse now. You see all this? I'm going through some sweating in November, and I have just been traipsing. It serves me right for knocking Guy at Gisborne, because I've been traipsing through this deepest foliage, searching for the tree lady to end today's video on a happy note. But guess what? She didn't want to be found today. Look at those roots. That was a mighty oak tree that stood here, and it fell of old age, fell of its own accord. Maybe in a controlled, assisted way. Did you know trees, when they know they're coming to the end of their life and death is approaching, they send all the nutrients out from themselves, out through the ground and to the other trees that surround them, thus ensuring longevity for their tree brethren. Very interesting, and it just shows the knowledge these creatures have. They're not known as creatures, but there is some kind of vegetable intelligence to them, or maybe more. Lots of research still to be done on this subject. Yeah, look who we found after all. Much closer to the start than I thought, but I'm just so happy that we had an amazing adventure in the woods. Very Guy at Gisborne-esque, but we respect old England, of course, old Britain. But it's fantastic that we're here with the entity that has chosen to be third-rate content mascot and join us in our journeys. If you remember last year when we were here, we did say, could you think of a name for the tree lady or the tree entity, the goblin princess or the fairy princess? She could actually be third-rate content's Lady Godot. Of course, I'm not being literal. I'm being very 21st century meta detached. But of course, you can't be literal when you come to the fae folk. But I'm not going to presume to name the entity, the lady, other than our third-rate content companion. And I'm going to sign off now anyway. I'm going to get to the end of today's video. It's a sad video. I'm really unhappy about the Northwest Relief Road. I think it's disgusting that British countryside is going to be despoiled and scarred permanently, and dirt and disgusting mud and rubbish all over the place at that end of town. It'll take years and years for the scar of the works to heal, but it's just one of those things. There's nothing we can do about it except get on with our lives and know that we wouldn't do that. But if you've got a different opinion, feel free to use the free speech forum that is the third-rate content comment section. Tell me your opinion. Any opinion, as long as it is legally held, is fair game in our democracy, even if you disagree with me. But as it is, we're going to be signing out, and we're going to be saying goodbye from me. But if I don't see you soon, I'll see you 3 times as soon. But don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment. I do love a good comment, and I reply where applicable and appropriate. And I'm hoping to have a few from this week's video. And And if I don't see you soon, I'll see you 3 times as soon. I've probably said that about 3 times. But third-rate content, signing out from me and signing out from our friend here in the woods, the old woods of England. So goodbye. Third-rate content, signing out. Bye-bye.